Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Now today's video is a whip of the week. You've probably seen that in the title of this video. And I started this one last night. She looks super duper washed out on camera. Why is that? Oh, that's not too bad. Yeah, she looks super duper washed out, but I think once I've added the hair and stuff it'll start to look a little bit better. Now, this is the first chance that I've had to properly sit down. I mean, the last video was whip of the week. It was my finished pages, and that was such a rush video. You might have heard Isabel in the background doing a squealing. Now today, the carer that sometimes has her, we've been having such ups and downs with the carer, not by any fault of her. She's lovely and brilliant with Isabel, but the last couple of times she's attempted to come round and take her, she's not managed to, purely because of safety reasons, but I will get into that. So she's took her today for a walk to the park and to take her from McDonald's for dinner, so I'm hoping I've got at least an hour and a half, 2 hours to do a video, edit a video, and then just chill out with my plants and mess around with them for a little bit before my head pops off. So before I start, I just want to pick out some colours. This book is by Christine Karen. It's a mixture of a lot of PDFs, and why am I being so indecisive here? And I'm actually using my Holbein pencils. The reason, it's like a weird OCD thing, but I know I've not, it's not that. It's just that I put them in this pencil case, and the colours that I'm missing, I've got it on this little swatch chart. These are the colours that I'm missing. Obviously the ones that are not coloured in, and I made the pencil case mirror the missing colours. So I was stopping myself from using it. Oh, she's messaged me. She's just stopped crying. She's settled now, thank God. I've lost my train of thought. Yeah, so I put them in the pencil case for where the missing colours would be. So every time that I was using them, I was sort of putting pressure on myself to put them back into place and not getting them mixed up. And I was just thinking, like last night when I started this, that's just stupid. Because I can come back and rearrange them. These are just backup pencils. I can come back and rearrange them whenever I want to. So it's just silly that I'm doing that. So I've just decided to try my best to forget that rule and just use the colours that I want to use. And if they ever come up on sale, I'll buy 2 or 3 of these pencils, and hopefully over a long time I'll be able to finish the collection, because I do really like these pencils. Do I think they're worth a massive price tag? Probably not. But if you're finding them cheaper in single stock and you just add into them over time, considering how many I've got, I don't think it's that bad. I do really like them though. I really enjoyed colouring this last night, really enjoyed it. And I just think it's really down to the paper and the pencils. And I'm back to using my Helix sharpener as well. That other sharpener, that gold one, as much as it was good, I was noticing with my cheaper pencils, it was sort of breaking the core. And I had some pencils that was literally down to here, and I couldn't figure what the problem was. So I switched back to using that, and it was the pencil sharpener that was the issue. So maybe it just needs a new blade, I don't know, but it took me a while to realise that. So yeah, I want to continue shading the hat. So you might have noticed as well the lack of content and the lack of me being on social media. If you do follow me on Instagram as well, I share the odd thing. Mostly at the moment it's to do with plants and any days out that we're having. I'm just not finding the time to do much, to be honest. Between caring for her, I can't leave her for more than, I want to say 5-10 minutes max downstairs on her own, so I can quickly nip upstairs, like get washing, do a little bit of cleaning in one room, and I'm quickly back down again. Because if she drops a book, she gets upset, she can't pick it up, or if she needs a drink, or if she's hungry, or anything, if she's wet, I literally cannot leave her. So it's like I'm stuck to being downstairs. And I've even thought about bringing some of my colouring books downstairs for over the summer holidays and just sitting at the dining table. But the amount of times that I'm up and down, I sort of lose interest. I don't lose interest in colouring, not at all. It's just the stopping and starting. You get yourself into like the rhythm, don't you? And then when you're having to stop and do something else and then come back and try and remember whereabouts you was up to, it's like reading. I've also tried reading downstairs while she's got the main TV and she's flicking through, but all she does now is books. She loves books and magazines. So she sits there doing that, and then if we're not doing that, we're doing physio or playing on the rug. And then she has to go in a standing frame as well, and I do try and get her out at least once a day, for even if it's just a little walk to the retail part. The retail part's like 20 minutes walk from our house, so even if it's just walk down there, go and pick some bread and milk up, some fruit, that sort of thing. And of course nip into B&Q on the way home to have a look at the plants. I always think I'm going to get lucky and find something rare in there that needs rescuing, and I never do. I never do. But I've got quite friendly with one of the ladies in there. This older lady, she must be in her 60s at least, and she was telling me about her granddaughter. She would have been 21, unfortunately she did die, and she did have Isabel's condition. She hasn't gone into too much detail of what happened, but she showed me videos of her when she was similar age to Isabel, and she gushes over her whenever I take her in. And she's recently learnt perfectly how to say bye. So you say, Isabel, say bye, and she'll go bye or goodbye, bye. And the lady she was almost tearing up when she first heard that. So she gushes over, and I took her in as well when I took her to get her ears pierced, just for go and say hello. She's in most days. And then the days that she's not in, I just have a wander around and look at the planty stuff and the garden stuff, because I'm telling you, my garden has just blew up. All my tomatoes have started to go like a orangey red shade. So my father-in-law told me yesterday a trick. He said to use banana skin, just hand them over the plant, and it ripens up the tomatoes quicker. One of the things that you learn. I need to do that this afternoon. My cucumbers as well are about that big, and I said to him, why are my cucumbers spiky and yours aren't? He said, oh, they go smoother over time, and then once they're ready, you just rub them off. Right. The chilies haven't done brilliant. The peppers are nearly there as well. They're green at the moment, but they're meant to change to red, I think. And then my cucamelons, the tiny little, they almost look like miniature watermelons, but they're actually cucumbers. And it's funny because it's only me in the house that likes cucumbers and tomatoes. So I'm gonna have to find a way to use all this homegrown produce. I think I'll be making plenty of soup. But I'll go back to, we call her Becca, Becca. She actually works in Isabel's school. It's like a little helper. And if you remember one of my videos from ages ago when I made like a little A4 poster and I put Isabel's picture in the middle and all the things about her, she actually phoned me, and she's the one that's been taking her to swimming either once a week or once a fortnight after school. So instead of being home from school around 4, she was home about 5:30. She'd take her swimming, shower her down, wash her hair for me, and then bring her home, and that works. It still works perfectly, and I'm sure it'll be just fine. Well, we did have a bit of a hiccup a couple of times after the surgery, but it was going okay. So that's ideal. I sort of made Thursday my day to do like the deep cleaning in the house, or if I wanted to go anywhere, like if I wanted to get the bus to Trafford Centre, because I don't drive, then I've got plenty of time to not worry about rushing back and being home for the bus turning up, or a day of filming if that's where my mindset was at the time. But we'd planned this day out. She was going to take Isabel out with another carer that was looking after another little boy, and they were going to take her to the farm, and they had everything planned out, and I'd made a little packed lunch for her. So the day came round and she turned up at the house, and Isabel had the biggest meltdown, welly, tantrum, anything that you've ever seen. Now, I can deal with that. I can deal with that fine. You know, I've learnt now to hold my breath, count to 10 or count to 100. And I managed to calm her down usually by singing nursery rhymes and just being silly with her. and that usually calms her down after a amount of time. But this particular day, because we had to put her in the car seat, now she has got a specialist car seat. My husband drops it off the night before when we know that she's going to be in the car the day after. So we'd done that, and we was both, me and Danny, we were both a little bit worried. You know, she's never actually took her from the house before. It's always been from school to home. So she turns up, and as soon as she came in, Isabel looked at her and said no. So they're the two words that she says fluently, no and bye. So she said no straight away. So, right, we'll deal with this. So we took her out of the everyday chair that she's in. We packed the wheelchair in the car. Thought, right, Isabel's next. Get her out, pop her shoes on. We had the music on playing. And as soon as I lifted her out to put her in that car, she just looked mortified, absolutely mortified. First, Becky tried to put her in the car and she was thrusting forward, nearly fell at the car seat. Not Becky's fault at all, not, you know, it was all just Isabel having a little tantrum, not understanding what was going on. I think she might have thought that she was going to school, to be honest. In hindsight, that's probably what it was. So we took her out. So I stood there with her. Now this is a very tall child for her age, and she's very heavy. She's very slim, very tall, but very long. So we tried to calm her down with me holding her, bouncing her up and down. So I then tried to get her in the car seat, and she proceeded to do the same thing and kick me in a private area. So yeah, I could not get her in that car seat, and I ended up just turning around to Becky and saying, we can't do this, it's not safe. Because I managed to get her in the car seat, but where her back is meant to be flat up against the car seat here, it was like this because her backside was there because she was thrusting forward. So I just said, you can't take her, you know, it's not safe. We both agreed. So we brought her back in the house. She brought the wheelchair back in the house, and you know, Isabel more or less stopped being upset. She was still like blubbering. But I just constantly kept saying, well, you've spoilt it for yourself now. You was going to go out for the day, you was going to have a really good time, you was going to see this, you was going to do that. And she did actually look a little bit disappointed. Whether that was the case or not, I don't know. It's just me guessing. But yeah, I was disappointed because I was looking forward to having that little break, because when she was going to take her out for the day, I mean, it was for the day. She only gets 4 hours a week, granted, for caring. So the week before she actually broke up for school, we saved up some of these hours so she could take her out on day trips just to give me a break. So basically them hours have been lost now. There's no way of using them, because like I said, she's going to take her out today and it's going to be 2 hours tops if I'm lucky. Oh, it's one of them things. It's one of them things. So she did take her out again, not last week, the week before I think it was, and she just took her out in the wheelchair. And the way that child turned around and looked at me, she just looked mortified, like she was scared. And I genuinely think that she thinks she's going to school. Because 6 weeks is a long time for any child, but with a child that doesn't have very good understanding and has all these additional needs, I think it's too long, to be honest. I really, really do. Not just for the parents' sanity, just for the child getting used to the routine, because she thrives off routine. And I'm really, really scared now, to be honest. The first day that school bus turns up, how on earth am I going to get her in that chair? Because I can't put her in the chair beforehand, because she could be sat in there for up to an hour waiting for this bus to turn up, because they're not always on time, and it has happened before. So I only put her in now when I know that the bus is here. So I wish I could bring you really, really good news. Yeah, I have got good news. I've ended up switching my desk back round. I had to, because by the time that I was coming up in the evening to come and do my art, the sun was blurring. It's a west-facing window. The sun was blurring through the window, and I couldn't see a thing. So I've ended up putting it back. I've got my pegboard right there. But to be fair, I've probably got more plant room doing this. I'm actually going to get rid of, I've got that silver, that's like a metal cabinet. I'm getting rid of that. I'm giving that to my husband. He's going to use for tools in the outhouse. And I want to get a miniature glass cabinet. I'm going all in with this planty stuff. I'm just really enjoying it. Every time I see a new leaf or a new growth, I'm like, wow, I did that. I did that. I've given it the right amount of sun. I've fed it when I should do. I've watered it when I should do. I'm doing everything right. Just feels like a massive accomplishment. Why am I struggling so much with the bottom one? The top one was super duper easy to do. So I almost contemplated on doing this video at 6:30 this morning, because she woke up as my husband left for work, and I went down, sorted her out and popped a DVD on for an hour and made myself a coffee, sorted the dog out, and I had every motivation in the world to come straight in here, and I ended up back in my room watching TikTok for an hour, just trying to not think about things. So a funny weird thing that happened, I think it was last week. All the weeks have sort of moulded into one at this point. She keeps getting what we think are urine infections, these reoccurring ones, and they're really, really bad. We do think that they cause her pain. She's holding away. Anyway, you don't need to know the horrible details of it, but it turns out that she's got a extra bit of kidney growing on her right kidney. So we have to go for another appointment, which is the end of this month. She has to go to the hospital, have a cannula in her hand, and then they pump ink through her body, and then they're going to scan an x-ray again to check if there's any scar tissue. And if it is the scar tissue that's causing the issue, I think they're going to permanently put her on a low dose of antibiotics, and that'll be like forever, to keep these issues at bay. But it's funny, isn't it? It's funny what the body can do. I never even heard of it. I was looking at the doctor like she had two heads when she said that to me. But yeah, apparently it's quite common. Some people don't even know that they've got it. You could be like 70, 80 years old and go for a scan for something else, and it might pop up. Yeah, you've got a bit of extra kidney on your left one or your right one, or you've got extra tubes or anything. I don't feel like I'm getting anywhere with this bottom one. I'm trying to be a little bit careful because I don't want to cause too many lines anywhere. But yesterday we went to Tatton Park, and it was lovely. It was lovely. I'll try and add some pictures over the top. Usually I just show you on my phone, but I will try and put them so you can see them a bit more clearer. And it was a really nice day. She enjoyed herself. We was there for a couple of hours. There's only so much that there's only so much walking around that we can do before we get tired ourselves. So we ended the trip with an ice cream that was absolutely extortionate in price. It's ridiculous how much they can charge at places like that. But we did plan on going to Blue Planet, but while the weather was nice, we thought we'll pick to go to Blue Planet one of the days that it's maybe overcast or rainy. So yeah, we're going to probably do that next week or the week after. I'm just thinking about colours. Yellow ochre. Maybe just a thin layer of this. So how is everyone else doing? I do apologise for the lack of content, and it's just life happens, doesn't it? Especially when it comes to the holidays and you can't really get much done. Even to the extent where I'm struggling keeping up with washing when we're going on days out and stuff. It's fun, put it that way. Yeah, it's fun. I think I've got one new plant since that video. I am being really good now because I've filled up all my spaces, and I'm sort of just, if I really, really want one and it's a rare one and I see it at a good price, then I'll get it. Otherwise I'm just propagating the stuff that I've got, and I possibly might try to sell them on Facebook groups once they're quite established. Obviously I wouldn't just sell them as snips, because there's a good chance that they've mould being posted, because that's happened to me a couple of times. I've ordered things off Etsy and then it's arrived mould. There's been a few instances that the seller's actually not even responded to me, and then there's other times that they've sent replacements out, which is great. So yeah, I'll make sure that they're all rooted. I do need to remember as well to ask Becky when she comes back. I'm going to ask, would it be possible, and I won't use the hours up, I will pay her cash. Could she sit with Isabel just for 2 hours in the evening so me and my husband can go to the pictures? We've not been to the pictures in, I can't even remember. The last time I went to the pictures was with Lewis and we watched The Lion King, so were that how long ago was that? I did try and take Isabel and that was just not a good idea at the time. So yeah, the last proper time that I went was watching The Lion King. The time before that with Dana, I have no idea. So hopefully we'll be able to do it soon. We are going to my favourite restaurant, touch wood, this Friday, but we've had to cancel it the 2 times that we've booked it. The first time she was ill and the second time I was ill. I was quite poorly last weekend. I don't know if it was some sort of bug, but for like 24, it was like a day and a half, maybe 2 days. I was quite unwell, so I do think it was a bug. How anybody else in the house didn't catch it, I have no idea. I think I'm going to leave faffing with the hat for now, and I'm going to start off with the hair. I do like how I've coloured the gold though on this. I do like that. I don't know how I manage it. I've had this camera now for over a year at this point, maybe even longer. And it gets to the 20-minute mark and I forget that it stops recording. I have to sort of reset it. So yeah, choosing my colours out. I don't know whether I should just go bright and bold, you know, to match a lip. I am going to do. Why not? And I don't think I've tried using Holbein's very often on her, so we'll see how this goes. What's that one? Madder Red, Vermilion. And then Burgundy. We'll try them, and then I might add a little bit. That might be a bit too yellow. Marigold. Actually, I'm going to do a thin coat of the marigold, I think. Oh, I should have said this at the start of the video as well. It's quite warm here today. It is 23.9 degrees in this room at the minute. It's only just past 10 in the morning. It's going to be a hot one today. It's going to be a hot one. So yeah, I've got fan running. Not just for me, but for the plants. I've really turned into one of them people. Everyone's just taking the mickey out of me. I saw my father-in-law yesterday and he just said, "How many plants do you need, Debbie?" I said, "Well, they filter everywhere up now. They cleanse the air." That's my excuse. They cleanse the air. But my husband, every little hobby, I do take it. I've noticed this myself, and he's said it a few times. As soon as I'm interested in one thing, I do really take it to the extreme level. Shall I zoom you in just a little bit? There we go, that should be a bit better. I do seem to take it to the extreme level. The first hobby that I found, like, that proper got me, you know, like, oh, I've got to have this and I've got to have that, and I'm watching other people and listening to other people. It was actually colouring, it was art. That's what first got me like this, to be honest. And then I found diamond painting and I was like, oh, I've got to have all the diamond paintings in the world. No, I don't buy diamond paintings now, purely because the ones that I've got is going to take me years and years and years to get through. I don't buy like diamond painting pens. I've just got one that I like and one that I continuously use over and over again. And I think because the warmer weather and the lighter nights, I don't tend to like to do diamond painting. I like to sit in the conservatory in the evenings. It's way too warm at the minute. Yeah, so when it starts to get a bit cooler, I can see myself going back downstairs and spending time doing it again, because I haven't done diamond painting in months at this point. I have bought new ones, but I've just not shown them on any of the channels, and I have started them. I'm halfway through a mystery one. I'm probably a quarter of the way through one with birds and flowers and stuff. But yeah, as soon as that hot weather kicked in and I was just out in the garden, I I just don't do it because I think that I need to spend time doing art because I've got my YouTube channel, and I just think at the end of the month I'll have nothing to show. But my mindset has changed a little bit with that. I do this as a hobby. I enjoy doing YouTube, I enjoy making videos, and if I sort of force myself to do it, I've said this before, but I wouldn't enjoy it as much. So I tend to be in here though every single night, whether it's I'm sitting here for half an hour or 2.5 hours. Like last night was a long one doing this skin, but the previous couple of nights I was just more or less messing with my plants, like repotting and just doing plant stuff, and then I'd sit down and flip through my boots and couldn't find anything that I wanted to colour that sparked my interest. That's how it's tended to be. I'm hoping that I get back into the swing of things once routine kicks in again, because I'd love for you to let me know what you'd like to see video wise. Obviously I can't commit to colour alongs at the moment, I can't, and I'd feel guilty. I feel guilty as it is with that mouse guard one, and that wasn't even a proper colour along. I've still kept that to one side. I do plan on filming the next part of that, but I just need easy things to do like that. This for instance is just one-off video, and I've noticed as well on a couple of my WIP of the weeks I've been getting hit with copyrighted things, and I don't know why, because the music on my intro on my old videos was copyright free, so I don't know why. So I've had to mute most of them, the intros and the outros, which is really annoying. I might actually start just not doing an intro. You know, I'm just being careful with music because I do actually pay each month to use the music. Oh, my camera's flashing at me. That was like a computer says no moment. The camera was just like, no, you better finish what you're saying because I'm going to switch off in a minute. I lost my train of thought. I was talking about music. Yeah, so I started paying, is it Epic? Epic Sounds or something like that. I pay monthly for that service. So occasionally when I do have more time and I edit more of a video and I've got music over the top, it's usually from there. I don't use the YouTube stuff. What was the point of this, Deborah? Yeah, so I need to get back into it because I'm paying for a service that I'm basically not using at the moment. And that's what I was trying to get at. The camera battery going off has just lost my train of thought completely. We went to Bisburn, is it? Bisburn at Blackpool. Now you've got at the top of Blackpool that you've got all the amusement stuff, and then I think you've got Bisburn, and I can't remember what's further down. We've been down there before as well. It's really nice. It's a lot quieter. There was hardly any people. The day that we went, the sea was completely in, and it was really choppy. The water, like, it was coming up over the sides choppy. But I have got a couple of videos of us taking Isabel down this hill, and oh my god, I was pooping my pants. My husband pushing her down this very large hill. It was literally like that. It was horrible. But we needed to push her down to get her down to, like, so she could see the sea. So I have got a couple of videos of that. Obviously it was filmed on my iPhone, so it's going to be the wrong orientation. So I'm hoping that I'll be able to add it here.
Isabel. Are you ready? Are you ready? Isabel, oh, yay!
But I think the whole point of me talking about the music, I was talking about videos. Is there anything that you can think of that I could just, you know, an easy thing that I'm not having to commit to. Like I said, a colour along, it's you have to do this, and then I'm recording the whole thing, and it'll take a long time. I'm not seeing recently, maybe I'm just missing videos, because certain people's videos have not been popping up on my feed lately, and I don't know why, because I've got the button clicked. They're just not popping up, but I've not seen any tags recently, like colouring tags. Like I said, it could be me just missing videos, or because back like a couple of years ago it was always tags going around and they were really fun to do. I could always think of one, I suppose. My friend Kirsty used to be really good at making tags up. I don't think she's done one in a while as well. So I'll have to have a think. So, yeah, because I've not done a tag in a while. And I've still not ordered the new Anastasia Caldereva book. I keep forgetting. And then I have to use my husband's PayPal as well, so he knows how much I'm spending on books. Because I've got really good at not doing that now, and not like buying things for the sake of it. Again, I've spoken about this plenty of times before. You know, like, I don't know what the right wording is or how to explain it. It's like getting almost sucked in. Oh, hold on, one of my leaves. Sucked into influencers, yeah. That's why now, if I will talk about a certain thing, I have to really like it. I've had a couple of different companies contact me asking me to review books or other little things, and the first email that I always send back, if they don't provide a link to the book or whatever it is it on Amazon paper? Because I really do dislike Amazon paper, but sometimes I think maybe just because I don't like it doesn't mean that other people don't like it and they might still want to see books, but I still stick to the same. If it's on Amazon printed paper, I tend to not really like doing reviews, even if the illustrations are really nice. And I'm not making that mistake again by not checking for AI, because I know that video that I did, I can't remember which one it was, but there was a video that I did and it was a pretty good video as well. I enjoyed doing it, but yeah, it turned out it was AI, and the person didn't tell me that, and it's my fault as well for not doing more research. But yeah, I'm pretty sure now that anyone that I'm not pretty sure, I'm 100% confident that I'll never work with anybody that does AI, because I think it's, you know, I don't want to say the death of artists, but it sort of is. Whoops. It sort of is. I just prefer the hand-drawn stuff that real people have done. I think AI in the future is going to take that many jobs up. It doesn't need another job that it's going to take over, does it? So this colour combination's turned out a hell of a lot nicer than I thought. Just add a splash of the burgundy here and there, so I don't want to overdo it. And I think this will go really nice with the gold when I add this. What colour is this one? Marigold. When I add that at the end, and I might add a little bit more of the orange shade as well, I think. We are getting somewhere with the house as well, so it's looking like at the minute we're still waiting for the, did I call them blueprints, to be made. That's due probably the end of this week or the end of next week, and then we'll actually see the plans in 3D of what the house is going to actually look like, and I cannot wait. I seriously cannot wait. It's going to make life so much easier for all three of us. I don't know if you wonder sometimes as well, I do have another child, a 17-year-old, but he doesn't really pay too much attention to Isabel, and I don't force him to do anything to do with that. If he doesn't want to do it, I ain't forcing it. So that's why I don't include him with that, because he doesn't do anything with her anyway to make it any different for him. It's just that's the way that he is, and I have to just come to terms with that. There's nothing I can do. He'll be actually signing up for university as well in January, and he does actually want to move away, which is fine. I forgot what I was talking about as well. I keep doing it. Isn't it because I've not got back into the rhythm of doing videos? I'm like, oh, what do I say? What do I say? But yeah, Bisping's absolutely lovely, and we're planning on going back as well in a few weekends and taking my mother-in-law, because she used to go there when she was a child, and she was like gushing, telling us stories about the place. We said, the next time we go, you've got to come with us. So we'll just we have fish and chips as well, which I vowed I would never have out of the house, because last time I had fish and chips out of the house it made me go into labour with Isabel. So it's like a don't do it, but I was fine. It didn't give me a bad tummy, put it that way. That was the first colour that I used, the marigold actually, so I'm gonna add a thicker layer of this. I'm hoping that this video is at least about half an hour long, and then I can quickly edit it, and then I want to make myself a nice breakfast. I'm going to have scrambled egg and tomatoes from the garden, in peace, and read a book while I'm eating. I need to pick a new book. I've just finished the one that I was reading in bed last night. I'm absolutely loving my Kindle, loving it. Oh, there was other good news as well. I saw on the YouTube community tab, and then a couple of days after, Colouring Chat with Sammy tagged me in a post on Facebook that Emma Kenny, the true crime channel, she's just had a baby and she's 50 years old, and I think she had IVF again this time. It's just like, oh my god, you know, if she can do it, it makes me feel a little bit less anxious when me and my husband do talk about it. She looks so happy, and she finally got a little girl as well. I'm so happy for her. She seems like a really, you know, down to earth, nice lady. I think what I might do is just do this one strip again, and I'll tell you the colours, all the colours from light to dark, just in case you are interested. And like I said, the eyes a whole band: marigold, vermilion, madder red, and burgundy. And I think that's created a really nice, it's like a really fiery red hair colour. I think that will look lovely when it's done. And I'm looking forward to doing the background on this one. I could film doing the background, I suppose. I could try and do my normal like watercolour background, but with reds and yellows, oranges, them sort of colours to make it match with the hair. That's an idea. That's an idea. I need to get this hair finished here, then I can add the eyelashes in. The eyes are not finished yet, I just had to wait for me to do the hair. And I'm going to do the eyebrows as well, why not, while I'm here. Let's get all these filled in. I was reading last night, apparently the UK is going to be having another heat wave coming very, very soon, which I hope not. Because being a plant mum now, yeah, that's what I call myself, I'm worried I don't want it getting too hot in here for them. If it does, I might have to invest in some really thick curtains and just plonk it up. I know that bubble wrap as well, you can stick bubble wrap to the window, that helps. And move all my plants from the windowsill and just hide them in different areas, I think. So vermilion, let's do some of the eyebrows. So all I do with the eyebrows is use each of the colours of the hair, but as I'm using the darker shades I don't go as far back, so I'm leaving that lighter shade poking through. And try your best to stay in the lines, not like me. So let's start deepening this section of hair up as well. I've got my appointment as well, and stupidly it's a telephone appointment. Why they're still doing this I don't know. For my upcoming surgery, I think it's the 21st of September, I've got the telephone like pre-op appointment. It's stupid why they're doing it, I don't know. And the clinic's right around the corner from my house. I might even just walk up there at some point next week and just ask them to explain why I'm having to do it over the phone. There's a lead fall on the floor, scared the life out of me. But yeah, because I don't live around the corner, so I'm like, why can't I just pop in and see the surgeon face to face and actually speak about what you're going to actually do? Because I do know that they're going to be removing the lump in my stomach that's causing me issues, and then they're removing the remaining fallopian tube that I've got left. So after that, there's definitely no chance of me getting pregnant naturally, but it needs to be gone. It needs to be gone. It's nothing but, it's causing me nothing but issues. So as much as it's sad, I say it a lot, it's just one of the things. Just got to deal with it. So I think I'm going to have to ask my mother-in-law and my father-in-law to help for a couple of days, even if it's just to sit in the house for a couple of days while I'm downstairs telling them what to do with Isabel. We'll have to get the house back out for them to use. I'm currently back lifting her again because my thought process was in a year or two I'm not going to be able to lift her at all. So I'm going to try my best to not use the house for as long as physically possible until the very last day. Then I'm like, no, I can't do this anymore, because then it's going to be forever. So it is hard, don't get me wrong, but it's a hell of a lot easier than getting the house and moving in. It's actually started upsetting her now whenever she sees it. So yeah, I'm back to lifting her up. My husband does most of the heavy lifting when he's here, but obviously with her being off school, she's here all day, so I'm transferring her from a chair to the rug, to the standing frame, to the standing frame, to the couch to her room, that sort of thing. And it is getting a little bit more difficult now as the weeks and months are going by, and her bottom tooth has started coming through. It's so cute. And I'm glad to report that her earrings, well, her ears, are healing beautifully. Since the very first day that she had them done, she tried to touch them once and she's not done it since. We've been very, very lucky. She lets me clean them, she lets me twist them, you know, check that they're tight enough. Yeah, she's been pretty good with that, to be honest. I've had relatives say, oh, can we like buy a jewellery? So well, not really, no, because these ones that she's got in, they've got a flat back. It's not a butterfly clasp at the back. So I'd have to go and buy the ones with a flat back. Now, if you can find them, perfect. But if you can, I'll have to take her back to the tattooist that she had them pierced and purchase the jewellery from there. And I actually want to go myself. I've been saying this now since I had hers done, but I want to go myself and get my second, what do they call it? Second area pierced. I had them done years and years ago, and they've closed up now, so I wanted to get them redone again. But I'll have to wait until someone can come with me, so they can sit with her while I'm having it done. I didn't add that burgundy, did I, to her eyebrows? So I just want to deepen it up, just on the very inside. So actually now, while I've done that, yep, I can do the eyelashes. So I'll just do the eyelashes and then I'll end this video and go and fill my tummy and fill my brain with a book. Quickly run around and do a couple of jobs, and then she'll be back. I hope that she has a good time. I'll give her money to take her to McDonald's. It's her favourite place in the whole wide world. I think most children are like that. And I need to cook a spaghetti for a tea. I'm not ever sure what to do for tea for Isabel. I always do spaghetti bolognese. She likes even like onions and spices in it. She likes lamb mince, she likes beef mince. I am pretty lucky though. But there's only one specific sort of pasta that she'll eat. So it's sort of like a cafe in our house at the evening sometimes, having to cook 3 different meals. But it is what it is. If it keeps them happy and fed, that's all that matters. Now this is the point where I need to stop adding eyelashes, because I do tend to have a problem of going over the top. I always think just one more, just on the outside there, just get them a little bit fuller. I wish my eyelashes looked like that. Well yeah, I'm quite happy with that. But I hope that you enjoyed this whip of the week. Please do let me know in the comments if you've got any other suggestions for videos. Like I said, I cannot commit to anything too long, or if it is something that's in steps, there might be weeks between videos, because I just can't guarantee what things are going to happen in the next couple of weeks, unfortunately. with the summer holidays, but I'm sure that everyone will understand that. Well, thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.